I have a question about RPR. So if
Mhm.
sellers are giving us like an old RPR that is like 20 years old,
Sure.
so
Mhm.
is that valid? Does that count? Or do we need like a current RPR?
All right. So a 20-year-old RPR can be the current RPR. So a current RPR is when nothing has changed, right? So whatever is shown on the RPR is what exists, right? So let's say somebody bought a property 20 years ago, and nothing has changed, right? The fence is in the same place, the deck is in the same place, the garage is in the same place, everything is in the same place.
Okay.
And that's what the RPR shows, right? Nothing has changed. Then that RPR, even though it was created 20 years ago, it's still a current RPR, right? Versus, let's say somebody bought a house from a builder, there was no fence, and then after they purchased the property, they added the fence, they added a deck, they added a gazebo, they added a parking pad in the back. So now that RPR, even though it was done a month ago, is no longer current. It's known as existing RPR. So that RPR would have to be updated to make it current. Okay, so let's say a seller comes to you and they say we would like to list our property. So as a part of the beginning steps, you would ask them for an RPR, and so they will show you the RPR. So now it's your job to look at that RPR and compare it to what exists, right? So on the RPR, you'll be able to see where the fence is, where the house is, where the boundary of the lot is, right? So you will be able to see all the different parts, and then you can look at the house and you can say, okay, is the deck in the same place? Is the garage in the same place, right? So you would compare that RPR to what actually exists. And that's how you will find out. So let's say RPR doesn't show a deck, but you go in the back and there's a deck, right? So now you
Okay.
know that RPR is no longer current. So then you will advise your clients, your sellers, they have different options. Either they can update the RPR. It's like it's not that much to update an RPR. They can get a new RPR, or they can offer title insurance to the buyers in lieu of a current RPR. So you would advise your sellers that these are some of the options that are available to them in regards to the RPR.
And what if they're not offering like a title insurance?
Well, one of the requirements on the purchase contract is that the seller will provide a current RPR with compliance, right? So if they don't, then it will have a negative impact on the sale. The sale may not go through, or the other lawyer may withhold the amount equal to creating a new RPR from the seller. So they will not get paid the full amount.